It's all the above, best believe we do it better. I want the fame, the fortune, all the above. I want the checks, the moolah, all the above. From Philadelphia to New York, all the above. Man, tell them other stations they don't do it like us. I want the fame, the fortune, all the above. I want the checks, the moolah, all the above. From Philadelphia to New York, all the above. Man, tell them other stations they don't do it like us. What up?
What's up, guys? I'm your girl Angel Marie, and I'm sitting here with my co-host Kevin. And this week we have a fun and special segment with you guys because, as you all know, we are reaching holiday season. So we are gonna have a segment for you guys called Holiday Traditions, where we pretty much give you guys a quick little rundown on our holiday traditions, where we talk about Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's, or New Year's Eve, I guess, because mainly everyone celebrates New Year's Eve. So get ready. Okay, so first up we have Halloween, which is actually this week coming up. So what are your Halloween traditions? You could talk about it when you were a child, now that you have kids, or a teenager, and then once you had kids. Give us the whole rundown.
Yeah, it's different. Halloween is different nowadays. Well, first of all, obviously Halloween in the age of COVID, who knows what's happening now.
True.
But when I was a kid, everybody went trick-or-treating. I mean, that was pretty much the norm. You would get home from school and you would, whatever, change in your clothes. You would start maybe like 6 when the sun was going down. But it's a little different, I think, over the years, especially if you've gotten into, the 2000s. There's still people who trick-or-treat, but I think kids do parties and things like that a lot more. So my daughters they go to the Halloween parties for, the last several years. My oldest daughter is in high school now, and she's not really into it. And even, my youngest daughter, it's kind of like, So now it's more, watching scary movies and just having candy. So really, they've never done the trick-or-treating thing, but we've gone to Halloween parties where they still get to wear their costumes and have the candy and play games and all that stuff. So that's kind of how it's been. And then now as they're getting older, it's more about just eating the junk and, watching some scary movies.
Okay. I mean, my story is a little bit different because growing up, I was not allowed to celebrate Halloween because my mom raised us very Christian. So we grew up.
But it's somehow like one of your favorite holidays now. So
it is my favorite holiday.
What does that have to say about you heathen?
It's just saying that I am reliving what I couldn't have, and now I'm, diving. Alright, so horror movies are literally my favorite genre ever since I was a child. So I feel like it's only right that I would love Halloween because I love spooky things. So growing up, I couldn't celebrate Halloween. So it started trickling around like 8th grade, I would say. Because in my middle school, every Halloween we would have a costume parade. So all the kids would go on stage, show off their costume, and I would be the only one sitting in the auditorium by myself just watching everyone show off their costume for the parade. And then we would have a big old dance party outside in our the schoolyard where all the kids were in their costumes. And here I am in my uniform because the rule was if you weren't wearing a costume, you had to wear your school uniform. So I was the only one in a uniform, and I told myself, I ain't gonna make my kids go through that. They're gonna be able to wear a cute little costume. They don't have to be no devils or something demonic. They could be a little princess or a Batman or something, something normal, or a Ninja Turtle. So then, so I started making up goofy little things once I hit 8th grade. I would walk around in sweatpants and a sweatsuit and then headphones, and I would tell everyone that I was a DJ. So that was my costume, because I had to make up something to get out of wearing the uniform. It had to still be a legit costume, basically. So I used to call myself a little DJ 8th grade. Then once I hit it's very pathetic.
Sorry, keep going.
I can admit that. And then once I got to high school, it was a little bit different because I had access to go to the stores by myself, started making a little bit of money because I was working at Rita's Water Ice at the time. So I bought myself my own little costume, and then obviously my mom still didn't know. So I had to take my costume in my book bag, and then I would change once I got to school. And then I would change back into my regular clothes when I was getting on my way back home. So that was my little taste of Halloween, because in my high school, it was a performing arts school. I went to Kappa, so they also had Halloween celebrations towards the end of the day where everybody could like go in the auditorium, have a dance party, or just regular parties in your classroom, who knows. So I was able to participate in that finally. And in college, obviously that spruced up a bit where I was celebrating more with my friends, and that's when it trickled to us going to actual parties.
And the costumes got more scantily clad.
You know, young and dumb.
Sorry, keep going.
Getting cold in my butt. But no, and now that I'm an adult, I just decorate my house. You see, I have pumpkins and I have other decorations around my house that you guys can't see. And, you know, have little trick-or-treaters. And then once I become a mom, I'll let my kids go trick-or-treating, and they have like the little less crazy costumes, like I said, princesses and Ninja Turtles or something random like that. It's something fun. So yeah, that's my Halloween tradition. And then obviously
You broke that down.
I did, and I live for scary movies, and that's 365 days a year, so it's not just around Halloween time. But when it's Halloween time, I just get more excited because the TV plays it even more. And I like to do little weird things that I make my husband join in on. It would be a lot better if we had kids, because right now it's like I'm forcing him to do it. But I like to do arts and crafts around the holidays, so right now we are going to paint a Halloween themed little ceramic or a sculpture kind of thing. We're gonna paint like a little vampire and a pumpkin, and then we go to the pumpkin patch every year. And this year I started something new. You're gonna laugh at this as well. I am having a spooky Saturday every week where we make a Halloween dessert together. So it's like a nice little couples thing. Don't steal my idea. So this week we're making a Halloween graveyard dirt bowl, which is literally just pudding in a bowl where you have the Oreos on top as the dirt and you put some gummy worms on top. But it's a nice little moment. It takes about 10-15 minutes to make, and then boom, that's your Halloween activity for
Wow.
Spooky Saturday.
I had no idea that there was that much detailed options for Halloween, but no, that was dope. I like that. And actually, you did make me think of something, boy. A new tradition we started. For years, we've always seen people go on like hay rides. I've never been on one. I was just like, hay rides, all right. Well. So we decided we were gonna go on a hay ride this year. We went on the hay ride, and the place we went, they had out food and everything, and they had a corn maze, and you had pumpkin picking. So this first time we ever picked pumpkins. And
That's your first time?
yeah, never did it.
Wow.
So on the way home, me, Tisha, Kayla, Jacelyn, we were all like, yo, that was a really good time. It was really fun. It was inexpensive.
See?
The hay ride was nice. We had fun picking the pumpkins, the corn maze and all that, which we did make it out. All that was such a good time. So we said, this is gonna be a new tradition, because we usually start our holiday sort of
Around
weekend
Christmas?
activities. No, we started like usually the weekend of the week of Thanksgiving. So that first weekend after Thanksgiving is when we start our holiday activities. So I said we have to start a new tradition where it's gonna start in October. So
So
from
you're
here
stealing
on-
our tradition, because we go to the pumpkin patch every year.
Hey, it's a good. If it's good, the best ideas are someone else's, or the best ideas are stolen, as they say.
It's okay.
So the first weekend of October, the first Saturday of October, from here on out, we're gonna go on a hay ride and do all that. So it was good stuff. It was good stuff.
Next up, we have Thanksgiving traditions. So I feel like ours is going to sort of be shared with our experiences, other than before you came into our family, which was ancient times.
Do you even remember your family before I came in?
Not really. I feel like
you
you've
have
always
very
been
few
there.
memories before.
You've always been there. I mean, based on family videos where you weren't around when we were babies, but other than that, I just always, you're there.
I mean, Dad, you said
Oh,
like.
well, not like that. I just mean, you know,
You said like I was in the way.
You know.
Like I ruined things for you. I was not in the way.
No, you're just a seasoned vet, that's all. So, I'll let you start. Thanksgiving tradition.
Oh, so, well, growing up, it was always, my mom would cook big Thanksgiving dinner. Me and my brothers would watch football and just eat all day. Then when I got to high school, we had our Thanksgiving Day, it's a tradition, a Thanksgiving Day game against our rival. And that was the thing. So I'd wake up early Thanksgiving. It was like the last game of the regular season, and it was our biggest rival. So we would play the New London Whalers. I was the Fitch Falcon. And we would play them on Thanksgiving morning. The game was at 10. So Game's over about noon, 12:30, get home about 1, shower, ice up, I'm all beat up. Then I would just watch football for the rest of the day and stuff myself. So that was when I was a kid. And then since being an adult, after me and your sister, your mother always cooked for Thanksgiving. A couple years, you know, I think your brother's done a year recently.
Once, yeah.
A couple years ago. But for the most part, it's usually someone within your immediate family who does the cooking. So we don't cook at home, but let's say standardly it's your mother. So we'll wake up on Thanksgiving morning. It's interesting because our kids, they don't care about parades. We've taken them both to parades. I think we've gone 2 or 3 times. They don't really care about it, and they don't want to watch it on TV either. Your sister, Tisha, I love you, but I'll have to shout you out. She gets up on Thanksgiving morning every year. She turns on the parade. She turns the TV all up loud. She calls the girls, oh, the Thanksgiving Day parade is on. She calls them down, and she's pointing out all the floats, and they're just looking at me like, I'm talking about not just now when they're older. They were little kids, and they were like, I don't care about the SpongeBob balloon. I don't care about the Sonic Hedgehog balloon. But she's just like, oh, you guys don't care. But then she does it to herself every year without fail. And she'll do it this year. She'll wake up.
She probably won't do it now because you called her out.
No, I've called her out on it for a number of years. She's gonna wake up, she's gonna turn on TV, she's gonna call them, she's gonna get all excited. Because I think it brings back memories for her.
Yeah.
And she's gonna like try to get them hyped up. They're not gonna care. So that's usually how the morning is. And then, you know, we hang out, watch TV, stuff like that. I'll sit and watch the parade with her so she doesn't feel lonely.
Aww.
And then, you know, we switch back and forth between the Philly one and the Macy's. And then, I guess maybe about 2:30, 3 o'clock, we head out the house and head to, you know, where we're going. Again, usually it's Mom's house. And tear up some food and hang out.
What would you say is your favorite Thanksgiving side?
Side? Oh.
Or what would you say is your ideal Thanksgiving plate? Let's say that. What would you love on your plate? Or what do you normally like on your plate?
All right. I only eat turkey once a year. So I do look forward to it because it's just never something that I eat. When do you eat turkey? Well, I'll make turkey wings once in a while, but I'm just saying
like an actual turkey.
Right.
Yeah.
So definitely the turkey. Usually people will make an additional meat, but I definitely like the turkey with the gravy. I know you love mashed potatoes. I'm not a huge mashed potato person, but I love mashed potatoes and turkey. I love mixing the turkey and the mashed potatoes and the gravy on both.
My mouth is watering just thinking about mashed potatoes.
No, I love that. So definitely turkey, mashed potatoes, gotta have greens, and the star of every holiday for me is the baked mac and cheese.
Ooh.
Gotta have that. And oddly enough, this is usually a summer food, but your mom has made it for a few times at Thanksgiving, potato salad.
Oh yeah.
So I know it's not the time of year for that, but if I could have turkey and gravy, mashed potatoes and gravy, potato salad, greens, baked mac and cheese, that would be my ideal Thanksgiving plate. I don't need anything else.
All the food.
And then, of course, I gotta finish it off with sweet potato pie.
Oh yeah, I would say my ideal plate, and I'm very basic whenever I eat anyway, but I'm not a big fan of turkey. I don't think I like turkey because it's always dry to me, but I love ham, so I always have ham on my plate. Obviously mashed potatoes, that usually takes up half of the plate anyway. Then I'll have collard greens, the yams, baked mac and cheese. I usually don't have string beans on my plate for Thanksgiving. I feel like I'm not a big fan of string beans when I have my collard greens. I'm usually a bigger fan of that.
I agree. It's like a lot of people make both.
Yeah.
I like the string beans, they're good, but if I got greens, I'd rather just have more greens than the string beans.
And then I always cornbread. I always gotta have my cornbread on the side. You forgot to mention the cornbread.
Yeah.
I'm
not gonna steal yours. Just you.
No, it's okay. He'll piggyback. He also likes the cornbread. And then for my dessert, I feel like sweet potato pie. Yeah. Or some cake. Sweet potato pie or some cake, like regular cake. But other than that, my tradition, I would say, is pretty much your older years of your tradition, where my mom cooks for everyone. We have a large family. Not super large, but I'm one of 5. So we all get together at my mom's where she cooks the meal. And I just remember the night before, me and my sister will always have to help my mom pop the string beans to get everything ready. And then we would have to peel the potatoes for her to make the mashed potatoes and for her to make the potato salad. So imagine making mashed potatoes and potato salad. It was a lot of potatoes that we had to peel.
That's why she hasn't made the potato salad the last couple years. You moved out. So she doesn't have anybody to help her the night before with the, Mom, I'm gonna peel some potatoes for you so you can make the potato salad. That's what is your fault.
Yeah, but I hated that job. I would rather pluck the string beans, pop the string beans, than peel the potatoes. I hate peeling potatoes. It's the most tedious job. You have to literally sit there and scratch everything off.
I'm good at that. Oh, I can peel. I learned that at a restaurant, my first job.
Oh.
I can peel a 5-pound bag of potatoes in like 10 minutes.
Well, then you can go over there and you'll make that happen. I like my mashed potatoes fresh. And I don't like my mashed potatoes with gravy. I feel like gravy ruins the flavor of things. I feel like people feel like the gravy enhances it. I beg to differ. My mashed potatoes has to be butt naked.
What about salt and butter?
Yeah, salt and butter, obviously, but no gravy. I feel like once you put gravy on top of the mashed potatoes, all I can taste is the gravy. I can't taste the richness of the mashed potatoes. But
The richness.
yeah, the richness, you know? It's good.
Okay.
And then, yeah, so I helped my mom the night before to get everything ready. The candy yams, we obviously peel that too, and then we chop up the yams, and then put the little butter, the cinnamon, the sugar, all that good stuff on top.
All right, big mama.
Yeah. Yeah, I was the assistant. She had to obviously overhead everything to make sure I was doing it correctly. I told you I could kind of throw down for Thanksgiving because I always had to help. Other than that, nah. But other than that, similar to your wife, aka my sister, I live for the Thanksgiving Day parade. I wake up every Thanksgiving morning to watch the parade. My husband watches it with me. But my tradition on Thanksgiving as well is while I'm watching the Thanksgiving Day parade, I am also beginning to put up my Christmas tree.
Yeah, you're about a month too late.
Yeah, you just started putting your Christmas tree up super early though. Let's not forget when you never wanted the tree up. We'll get
That
to
was
that.
like 15 years
We'll get to that in the next segment. This is a different one. But I always use Thanksgiving morning to put up my tree. I honestly don't know when that started for me. I think it was once I was old enough where my mom gave me that job to put up the tree on my own without her helping. I think that's when I took over. I want to say probably like when I was maybe 8th grade or 9th grade. I started doing the tree on Thanksgiving mornings. And obviously that carried over into my adult years where I still like to put up on Thanksgiving morning. I think that's a tradition I'm not giving up. I have to put the tree up while I'm watching the parade or I'll be no good. But yeah, that's everything I got for Thanksgiving.
You decorated a nice tree too.
Thank
I'll
you.
give you props. You're good with the holiday decorations.
That's where I thrive the most. Next up for our traditions, we have Christmas, which is the big shebang.
Yeah, Christmas is, or really I'll say Christmas Eve, is the holiday where the Strickland household kind of shines a little bit. I mean, growing up, Christmas was, my mom, my brothers, and, we would get up, open gifts and stuff like that. For us, it was always, I look forward to the meal and stuff like that. So my mom would cook a
You look forward to the meal as a child?
It was little, I liked the gifts, but by the time I was like a teenager.
Oh, okay. I was
stuff
like,
like
who
that.
is a child who wants a meal on
Yeah,
Christmas?
and especially that when I was, 14, 15, I had my own little job and stuff like that.
Okay.
There wasn't like some big gift that I was looking for or wanted because by that time I had my own little money. I was getting stuff that I wanted. If I wanted some new sneakers or Timbs or something like that. But so I just look forward to just another, another opportunity to have me and my brothers at that time. They're older than me, 8, 9 years older than me. So it was like they were out the house, but they always came back. So it was like when they lived in the house, I was so much younger than them that, they were older and I looked up to them, but we weren't close because I was such a little kid. So by the time I got to high school and they were in their 20s and I was, 15, 16, the gap shortened a little bit. And especially once I started driving. So it was good to have them come back home, reconnect my brothers. My mom would throw down in the kitchen. We have a big meal. So I just look forward to the family time. But since I've been an adult, since I've been married, Christmas Eve is probably the second biggest event
It's like
in
the
our
Super
house.
Bowl.
It is. It is. It's a big deal. So we started this right after we got married. I think it was it might have been, we got married 2003. We might have done this 2004, the first time, I think, before we even had kids, where we host the family. Generally, your side of the family comes, because most of my family is spread throughout different parts of the Northeast and all that. But you have a concentration of folks right here in Philly. So we started a tradition in 2004 where we cook a big meal, all this stuff. I do the meats, Tisha does the sides. I usually cook a ham, a turkey, and sometimes I'll add a third meat, like a prime rib or roast.
Like a buffet at their house.
I did ribs one time where I smoked them for like 12 hours in the freezing cold. I'm gonna have to get back to that. So at some point, maybe I'll smoke some ribs again. But we usually spend the whole day like preparing, cooking, because we tell people to get there about 6. Angel here, we always know she's gonna be the first one there. Angel would show up about 4, not to help, but to just chill and observe.
You know, I keep them company.
No, honestly, Christmas Eve starts for me when Angel shows up. And I'm like, okay, it's now, I know in about an hour or so, folks are gonna be there.
Exactly.
So once Angel got her license, I mean, she was the first one there. So
I think only recently I was like the second or third person to arrive.
I hope, now that you're married, I hope you don't change that tradition. I hope you and your hubby still show up early.
Well, I work on Christmas Eve now, so.
Take off, get off early. They're gonna make you work a full day? Like, you get out of work at
Probably not.
Because most jobs don't you get out early.
Yeah, I get off work at 6. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to have
They gotta let you off at 2. So anyway, usually I try to time the food to where it's finished up, you know, right around the time. Sometimes I have something that's just finishing up by the time people show up at like 6. So the whole family comes over, you know, we eat, we do a whole bunch of stuff. And then I always try to tell people, like, you know, why don't we wait until everybody's eating before we do the gifts? But it never happens.
Yeah.
Somebody starts passing out gifts, and that's what we do, the whole gift exchange.
Usually my brother Todd don't listen. As soon as he come in, he just start passing out the gifts.
Exactly.
I only did that once because I gave in. The kids were just so cute. They couldn't wait.
Oh, no, I love it because you've got, you know, everybody's exchanging gifts, but then you got the, you know, the kids, you know, grandkids and all that, getting the gifts, and they're tearing stuff up, and the house ends up being a mess. But I love it because, as Angel I'm sure will tell you, until I had kids, I was a bit of a Scrooge.
He was a Grinch.
Yeah, worse than a Scrooge. I was a Grinch. Yeah, because Scrooge didn't really get into Christmas. The Grinch tried to ruin it for everybody. And I didn't try to ruin it for other people, but I do remember that time. I don't know if you want to tell the story when you was...
Yeah, he killed the vibe. Me, my sister, who was his wife, and my mom, we were outside. They had a little bush in their front porch.
It was like a little short, like, it was like maybe like an 8-foot evergreen tree.
Yeah, so, you know, we were putting Christmas lights around the tree, and he was out running errands, I guess, and here he comes, park his car, and as he's walking up to the front door, he's like, I don't know why y'all putting lights outside. Ain't nobody gonna really look at them.
And I remember I said,
it's cold outside.
And I said, you just got to take them down in a few weeks anyway.
Exactly.
And here I am. Oh, my other tradition too. So anyway, that's Thanksgiving.
I was gonna say, you have a big tradition during Christmas time.
You know I was gonna be running my mouth on this one. So anyway, usually Christmas Eve, you know, after everybody eat presents, you know, your mom's gonna say, let's play Monopoly or Sorry.
Oh,
so
God.
people playing that. And then we just have the music going, food, drinks, everything, and everybody's having a good time. And usually the last people, I think the latest has been people have gotten out of there. Usually Irv is the last one to leave. So Irv will leave. If Irv leaves before 2, I'm surprised. Sometimes he's left about 3 before, but usually people start leaving about 12:31 at the very earliest. And Christmas for me is like just trying to get the house in order so it's not a mess waking up to, and then get a couple hours of sleep, and then maybe wake up like 9 the next morning. But that's Christmas Eve, and then the only other big thing we do is July 4th. But my Christmas holiday I get in the vibe at Labor Day, and usually early October, mid-October, I'll put up the tree and the decorations in the house. Tisha won't let me put up the outside decorations because she doesn't want the neighbors to think I'm crazy.
Exactly.
So I put up the outside decorations like right around Thanksgiving, maybe the week up to Thanksgiving. But yeah, and I'll leave them up to, if my tree is down by by the end of January, that's kind of early. So anyway, that's my thing. I went from being a Grinch to literally Christmas is like one of my favorite times of year. But I think it's because of the kids. So.
Well, for me, growing up, obviously every little kid is excited about Christmas. I was heavily into like the toys and the Barbies and dolls and all that jazz. And I just remember every Christmas morning, my dad would walk in the living room with big old trash bags full of toys. Sometimes he wouldn't even wrap them, that's how many toys it was. And he would literally just dump them all on the floor. And we all knew whose gift belonged to who because our ages are spaced out where you can tell, okay, this gotta be for me or something. And I just remember every single year, it was piles of toys I would get. And then my mom would be upset, like, they got enough toys. They don't need all of that. But he still bought them all anyway. And then growing up, obviously once we started going over Kevin T's house for Christmas Eve, it just made it better because then you see the grandkids started to get that same experience where he would dump all the toys out full of trash bags and everybody would get their gifts. And then I'm such a big Christmas person. I love decorating everything because I don't know. I'm always in like that holiday jolly spirit. I play Christmas music once it hits November. I love going to the Christmas Village at City Hall. I like doing.
After you're done, I forgot all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Keep
that's
going.
true.
Keep going.
See, I always jog your memory when I talk about
Keep
my
going.
stuff. But yeah, I like going to the Christmas Village. I went to Franklin Square where they had the light show and they had the Santa Claus and a little carousel. Pretty sure, oh, and I also do like Christmas crafts like I do with the Halloween crafts where I'll decorate like a little ornament or something to put on the tree or a magnet to put on the refrigerator. And then obviously just like Halloween where I decorate the whole house, I pretty much do that times 10 for Christmas. And I nonstop watch Christmas movies and TV shows all month long. That's it.
Yeah, no, but like you, that's one of Tisha's traditions is that, what is it, Hallmark Channel's 25 Days of Christmas?
Oh, I don't like Hallmark Channel's Christmas.
Oh, it's one of
I
them.
watched the Freeform. Well, it used to be ABC Family, 25 Days of Christmas.
Yeah, whichever one it is.
Yeah.
You and your sister, no, 'cause I know we're talking about the same one because you and your sister both like the same.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like, first of all, I think Tia and Tamara and then Kyla Pratt, and they're all making Keisha Knight Poem. I think they're all making the same Christmas movie. They're just taking turns making it. But she loves all those Christmas movies that come on like ABC Family. But you jogged my memory. I completely forgot.
Oh, I did that on purpose because I knew it would remind you. Because I'm like, there's a lot that you're leaving out.
No, so I focus more on Christmas itself and the decorations. But for us, it's a big lead-in as well, where we start the weekend after Thanksgiving. We have an activity that we plan every weekend for the family. So it's changed over time. Sure.
Chime in real quick. I call them the modern day Huxtables because they do, aside from Bill Cosby now, but the TV show Huxtables, because they do a lot of family things together. You know, it's a black family doing traditions that you don't expect people to do. You'll see why. Go ahead, continue.
So yeah, it's changed over the years as the kids have gotten older, so it's, you know, more age appropriate for them. But when they were little, we would go to, well, we still do this just because it's, you know, a fun way to kick it off. But usually the first Friday after Thanksgiving, we'll go through a drive-through light show with the Christmas decorations. There's a couple of them in different areas, but we like starting that. So we'll play Christmas music. We'll get like the popcorn, the funnel cake. We'll drive through, look at the decorations. So we always kick it off with that. That's the first thing that we do. Then when the girls were younger, we would take them down to Dickens Village and the Christmas tree light show in Macy's downtown in Philly. We would do that for years. We stopped doing that about maybe 3 years ago because the girls are just like, we stand in line for Dickens Village and it's, we see the little
I feel like they're starting to turn into
figurines.
Like
I know, they're just like, okay. And then the light show. But that was a tradition that we liked. When they were younger, we would also take them to Christmas in Hershey. A lot of times we would be out there freezing for hours, but we would take them there because they have got all the kiddie rides and it's decorated and stuff like that. But they've outgrown that a little bit too. Christmas Village we would take them to after we would, leave Macy's or whatever. And we'd buy like, some of the little things they have there. We've done ice skating at
you see,
Dilworth
they're
Park
doing a lot.
in Center City. That's one of the things that we've done. something recent that we added that we're gonna do every year is snow tubing, which we had a ball. They actually said it's one of the funnest activities we've done as a family together was the snow tubing. So we're gonna add that in. We also go to Longwood Gardens, which it's not necessarily an activity, but it's just a nice Christmas holiday type environment because it's a huge outdoor garden. It's dark, but they've got lights, they've got food. So that's one of the things that we've done. They've got like a fountain where they play Christmas music. So those are some of the things that we've done over the years. And I'm trying to think, is there anything else I'm missing? So this year we're gonna do the drive-through light show. Definitely gonna do the snow tubing. I think we're probably gonna do Longwood Gardens and see if there's anything else that we can kind of think of. But it's a big deal. We like doing it. And oh no, there's always one weekend where we don't do Christmas activities because my wife's birthday is December 18th. And one of the first things she told me when we started dating is that she used to get screwed because she had a birthday real close to Christmas. Anybody who has that knows a lot of people will just try to lump your birthday and Christmas gift together so you don't get the two separate. So she said you have to absolutely treat my birthday as a distinct and separate holiday. Yes, I said holiday from Christmas. So
fair enough.
We'll do activities Thanksgiving weekend and every weekend after until we get to the weekend of December 18th. So wherever her birthday falls, the closest weekend to that, whether it's before or after, that weekend is reserved for the celebration of Tisha's birthday. And then we resume Christmas activities the following week.
And that is what you call a man who listens.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't have a choice. I listened, but I didn't have a choice. So no, thank you, you jogged my memory. There's so many other things. And if you have any ideas, feel free to give me more, because I'm looking for more stuff to do.
I got you. Stay tuned. And last but not least, we have to talk about the tradition that pretty much sums up a whole year in itself, which is New Year's Eve. So, what are your New Year's Eve traditions?
For us as a family, we just like to stay in. We'll watch the ball drop, but we just stay in. Maybe we'll order food or we'll make something. But for us, because of how much we put into the holiday season in terms of all the stuff that we do and hosting, we actually kind of take New Year's as like a chance to, because we know it's back to work, back to school, back to the regular sort of grind of life. And we just take this opportunity to just, relax as a family. And it gets crazy out there too. You've got, people out there drinking and driving, all kinds of stuff. So we just keep it in the house and keep it safe and have a good time and keep it quiet.
That's fair. I mean, for me, mine's a short and sweet as well. Growing up, I always spent my New Year's Eve in church with my mom. We would always go at like 10 o'clock because she wanted to leave and go somewhere safe early enough before, because in the hood, people start shooting for New Year's once it hit 12, even before that sometimes. So we would go to church, and her saying was always, you always want to go into the new year with the blessing and around the saints. So that's what we did. And then growing up, once I got into college, I guess I took a different path. I would ring in the new year with my friends at parties. So that's a complete opposite a little bit. Sorry, Mom. Maybe I should have mentioned the first part. I should just dive right into that. But literally, once I started college, me and my friends always celebrated New Year's Eve together. I think last year was probably the very first year I did not ring in the new year with my best friends, but we all still linked up on New Year's Day. So in a way, I still rung in the new year with them. Pretty sure this year will be different because everyone lives in different states and everyone has their own families now. So we'll see how that plays out. Maybe we can do like a Zoom. Oh well, it's COVID anyway, so we probably won't link up. So we'll do a Zoom New Year or something. And then 2 years ago, I think I missed like celebrations because I was tired. So that would have been the first year that I would see the ball drop on TV. I never gotten to see the ball drop because I was always out doing something. I fell asleep literally at 11:45. Woke up at like 12:03, no exaggeration. Just missed the ball drop. So yeah, that was my New Year's every year. So it was fun times. Pretty sure now is going to be a lot different because I'm not in a party spirit like I usually am because I'm not young and in college anymore, more reserved. I'd rather chill at home, watch some TV, watch a movie, have some popcorn, wait for the ball to drop, chill with some wine, champagne, whatever the case may be. Boom.
So let me ask you a question then. Now that we've kind of covered the whole holiday season, this was obviously a big year for you. You are now a married woman. And obviously at some point, you'll have a family and children. So, one, are you looking forward to establishing, I'm gonna ask you a couple questions. One, are you looking forward to establishing new traditions that sort of come from your family? No, not from your let me say that again. Are you looking forward to establishing new traditions with your family, meaning your husband and your children? Mm-hmm. Are you going to carry any traditions that you grew up with and pass them on to, implement them in your family, pass them on to your kids? And do you have any ideas for things that you want to do as far as traditions for your family that you want to start that you haven't done yet?
Honestly,
that makes sense? Did I get all three?
Yeah, it makes sense. I feel like the way I treat the holidays now is almost as if I have kids. I just make my husband do them instead. So, like the whole crafting situation, once I have kids, I'm gonna have them do the holiday crafts.
You're gonna make them.
They're gonna enjoy it.
Okay.
If they don't like it, I won't make them, but I'll kind of guilt trip them. I'll guilt trip them a little bit. I feel like little kids will love it, and then as they get older, it probably won't. But who knows? The putting up the tree on Thanksgiving is definitely a tradition that I will carry on with the kids. I think that's something I started on my own that wasn't really a family tradition. It was just actually no, I think me and my mom started that together because usually she'd be like, go get the tree while we're watching the parade and that kind of situation. I don't think I have any staple family traditions growing up that I would necessarily have to carry over. It's always things that I kind of adopted on my own that I'll just transfer over to them. Especially like going to visit Christmas Village or just little holiday attractions and pumpkin patches. I would definitely do that with kids, but I do that now. I honestly feel like I've forced my husband, actually not forced because he enjoys it, or else he tells me he enjoys it. But I have him do those things, and I'm like, when we have kids, it'll be a lot more exciting to have children hype it up a little bit more. But yeah, just keep it going.
There you go.
Well, there you have it, guys. That is the end of our segment of holiday traditions. We hope you guys loved it and enjoyed it. If you did, definitely let us know by giving us a thumbs up in our video. And as always, if you have anything to add, if there's anything that you liked from our video, any family traditions that you would like to mention that you guys do, if there's a family tradition, or well, not even a family tradition, but a holiday tradition that we shared with you guys that you loved or that you also do within your household, definitely let us know in the comment section below. We love to hear your thoughts and we always respond back. And last but not least, if you guys like what you saw and you would love to see more, definitely hit that subscribe button. That is how you stay up to date with all of the above and constantly receive alerts so that you will never miss a beat. That was a good one though. How'd you feel?
It's got me in the holiday spirit already. I was kind of getting into it, but it really does. So it's got me thinking like, oh, I'm a little late on planning our holiday stuff, what we're gonna do which weekend. So it's kind of the kick in the butt that I needed. So
yes.
I'm definitely in a much better upbeat mood and spirit, and I got planning to do.
My job is done. And guys, this is the week of Halloween, so if you will be celebrating, definitely stay safe, wear a mask. It's Halloween, so it makes it easier to wear a mask. And if you do decide to take your kids trick-or-treating, stay safe, wear gloves, make sure it's wrapped, the candy is wrapped, so just take precautions. But as always, it is our time to go. I'm your girl, Angel Marie. I'm sitting here with my co-host, Kevin.
See you guys next time.
See you guys next time.
Wednesdays at 7, Angel Marie and Kevin playing the illest records, bringing us back together. Philly is all season, storming through any weather, leaving the track bleeding, way we pull it together.